So here's another, it's not really clear what it is because of the this thing right here makes me feel like it's geometric. The wheels fall off with the n squared. So I'm going to go with, because of the n squared, the geometric, and then the 2/3 to the n, I'm going to go with ratio test and see what I can do here. So again, the ratio test is the limit as n goes to infinity of 2 consecutive terms. As long as it's less than 1, the series converges. If it's bigger than 1 or infinity, it diverges. If it's equal to 1, you got to do something else. So the limit as n goes to infinity, I plug in n plus 1 to all these terms here. I get n plus 1 squared. This is 2n, 2 to the n plus 2, 3 to the n plus 1, over n squared, 2 to the n plus 1, 3 to the n. I need to write the absolute value bars on the first round, but I can drop it after that because all these terms are positive. I get the lim as n goes to infinity of n plus 1 squared, 2 to the n times 2 squared, over 3 times 3 to the n, times 3 to the n over n squared, 2 to the n times 2. So 2 to the n plus 1 I wrote as 2 to the n plus 2, 2 to the n times 2. 3 to the n plus 1 I wrote as 3 times 3 to the n, or I don't know why I wrote that backwards. 2 to the n plus 2 I wrote as 2 to the n times 2 squared, right? And that's just exponential rules. Got a lot of canceling here. Cancel, cancel. Notice I'm canceling lightly. Don't cancel out too darkly. Then it's kind of hard for me to read it. So this becomes the limit as n approaches infinity of, I'm left with 4, n plus 1 squared. I'm left with 6 and n squared. Hopefully everybody's okay that this is going to turn into 2/3 in a second, but let's just verify. Multiply this by 1 over n squared and this by 1 over n squared. When I slide it in, it's just being multiplied by 1 over n, if you will. So this becomes the lim as n approaches infinity. 4/6 is the same as 2/3. I multiply that inside, I get 1 plus 1 over n squared, nope, 1 over n, sorry, squared over 1. This goes to 0. This whole thing is just 2/3, which is less than 1. Sorry, squeeze that in over here. This is convergent ratio test.